Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I know I haven't played a whole lot of tanks lately. There's a little bit of reasoning behind that. If you remember previously, I did do a video on World of Tanks Blitz, which is a trimmed down, lighter version of World of Tanks with no artillery. It's more towards mobile devices. Well, it's actually kind of fun even on PC. And after doing some research, I found out that there are options for premium tanks in this game where you can mount different guns, such as on the Jagdtiger 88 or the IS-6. So I kind of gave this game a little bit more playthrough and ended up sort of liking it more than regular tanks. Now, that being said, I still will probably have some World of Tanks videos, but I am going to play around with Blitz a little bit more. And I actually started doing a sort of showcase per tank because I don't feel like a 30-minute video for like 2 or 3 battles is really worth it. So I came up with this idea where I'll just showcase one tank at a time through my videos. So this is the beginning of that. So we'll go ahead and we'll move right into the game real quick here. So here we are inside of the World of Tanks Blitz hangar. This is actually the premium hangar. Got some premium time on this through both the battle pass over here as well as just other pickups that I've done through this so far, such as what would be considered more rare tanks in the regular PC version, such as the BTSV or even the A32, which, if I remember right, in the PC version was a beta collector tank. I also have rounded out my Girls and Panzer collection and picked up things like the Hetzer, or the Tiger, the Firefly that Saunders uses, or even the mighty IS-2 from Pravda. There's also some other tanks that I picked up through that same battle pass, if we bring up here. As you can see, there's our tank over there in the background, and that is the mighty Icebreaker, which is a sort of modified Tiger, a little bit more frontal armor and some cool sort of smoky effects here. I'm assuming it's supposed to be the ice and things like that. Now, as I said, we're only going to focus on one tank per one of these videos. So today we're going to be looking at a tank that I considered probably really boring in the PC version, but in Blitz, this thing's a demon. Say hello to the VK, I believe it is the 1602, if I remember correctly, or better known as the Leopard. Now, as you can see here, these are all the little stats. It's much more simplified than in the regular PC version. This thing only gets 2 different guns, and they're both autocannons. This is the base model, which, as you can see, has a little bit less damage per minute, but then you have this sort of beefed up version. The only downside is the penetration drops, and in order to compensate for that, at least in my opinion, I'd go with calibrated shells. And as you can see, these are all the different things that I've done to my tank. Gave it a little bit more health, extra camo, just overall better handling, and better aim time and dispersion. Though there's not a lot to be said about this tank other than it's so cool that I decided to put one of the custom camouflages that I got from the battle pass on this tank. And I had quite a few good battles with it. Now, I'm going to do something a little different than I've done before, and that is I'm actually just going to show you the replays versus trying to play on the fly. I've had a lot more success. My ratings lately have gone up significantly. I've been doing a lot better. And instead of trying to play and commentate at the same time, I found it a little bit easier to just play, and then I'll show you the replays. So let's go ahead and we'll get into that. So here's our first battle. As you can see, small map. Our lineup isn't incredibly over the top. 2 Leopards, an AT-2, Sherman, a Panzer IV, an M7, and a Matilda. Not a big deal.
Time to roll out.
What were we fighting against? Well, Crusader, KV-1, another Leopard, a Sherman, a T-34 from China, a Hetzer, and an M7. So, sort of similar lineups, only one heavy per team, though they have a higher tier heavy than we do. So, this is what I like to do with the little Leopard. If I'm out on the front, I'll hide behind a bush. I have no idea if bush and camo mechanics work the same way as they do in the PC version, but I still will hide out. And it seems like my other Leopard showed up, and you can see the other Leopard flying across there and me missing all of the shots. You also get 6th Sense automatically in Blitz, which is another neat feature. So, let's see here. I tried to aim on that Sherman, couldn't see it. Oh, but it looks like the Leopard's going to poke out and I'm going to go to the APCR and give him a little hello. Now, I frankly prioritize other Leopards on the other side if I see them because I know how much damage I can do on mine, so I'd rather remove him from the field as soon as possible, which thanks to the Panzer IV, we managed to do. Now, there's the M4 Sherman over there, and it looks like the Matilda's going up against him, so I thought maybe I could sneak around the back and come up behind him, which is another fun tactic that I like to do. And I start moving for him. I see where he's at. Alright, does he know I'm coming? He does, but I go ahead and open up on him. I somehow manage not to get hit. I damage his engine. Somebody tracks him. I'm sitting here waiting to reload. It takes about 10 seconds for me to reload my magazine. Oh, I see. Oh, no. I go ahead and I take out the Sherman. Blow his top off. See you later, bud. So there's another tank removed. We also knocked out an M7. Now the KV-1 sees me, and I'm most certainly going to get hit. Or at least that's what it looks like. Now, this tank's gun is good enough to where I can get on the broadside of a KV-1 and actually manage to damage it. Now, I'm sitting here just kind of hanging out back and forth, back and forth. I know the KV-1's going to come. He shows me his side. And once again, I somehow managed to not get hit. Now, I see him. He's coming back around. Misses me. Very, very close. But I know he's going to take a while to reload. I hit that lower front plate in between the two tougher portions. Once again, I start backing up. I figure that KV-1's going to be able to pop a shot off on me. He doesn't. And once again, he shows me his broadside, and that's it for the KV-1. So a light tank has managed to take out a medium tank and also a heavy tank. And with the Hetzer taken out, that's it. No more. So not a bad match. So as we move through here, that was my first match that I wanted to show off with the Leopard. Now let's move on up here. Let's see. Here's one on Himmelsdorf. So we'll go ahead and check that out. So once again, a very similar matchup. We have both light tanks, Leopards on there. Got two heavies that are the same tier. A couple mediums. I think, honestly, this is a pretty balanced match here. So off we go down Himmelsdorf, which is still Himmelsdorf, just a kind of shrunk down version. There's no hill, if I remember right. I could be wrong. Anyway, so I wanted to see if you could, use the wall as cover. Not really. And then this A20 comes up, so I said, hey, well, I'll go ahead and move up. There's Panzer IV-D, there's an A20. There's another Panzer IV-D and its bigger brother, the Panzer IV-G, which is upgunned and a little bit stronger. So I go ahead and I just unload on the first thing I see. I managed to knock out some of the components of the Panzer IV-D there, and I think I damaged his engine if I saw right. Now I noticed that A20 is not doing anything, so I go ahead and I open up on him. Damage his tracks, and I also take a good chunk of his health away. Now, I'm confused as why the A20 is not firing. I don't know if he's DC'd or what, but somebody fires at me, bounces, and then I go ahead and drop the A20's health down again. And here comes that Panzer IV-G, and I don't know what he was trying to do there, but it gives me an opportunity to take a little bit of his health away. Now, I'm hoping that maybe if I can side scrape a little bit, I'll go ahead and I'll take a little bit of his shot away. Oh, well, I switch over to APCR because the Panzer IV-G's front is a little bit tougher than the D, and his turret goes flying as the Panzer IV-D takes him out. Now, I got two mediums down. I saw the Leopard over there. There's another medium over there. And now all of a sudden the A20 starts moving. So I don't know what was up. I don't know if he was trying to hide, if he was hoping nobody was going to see him. But it doesn't work, and no more A20. Bye-bye. So I've managed to do 1,000 damage so far. And now, see the Panzer IV-D, I figure he's going to get taken out. I see our Churchill and their BDR. The BDR is at full health, and that Churchill is not doing too good. They are bouncing off of each other, but I figure it's only a matter of time until the Churchill gets taken out. So I decide to jump in and see what I can do, and I take off a decent amount of health, and he does take out the Churchill, which is what I was expecting to have happen. Oh, and he just barely misses me. Now he apparently decides to go on and look for some other tank to take out. That's the nice thing about the Leopard is it seems like they sort of underestimate this tank, and then once you get the tank to engage in another sort of skirmish, you can just come up and I ram him and barely and then I just take him out. It's like they don't even notice that there's a tank behind them. So, and once again, not a bad battle. Did upwards of 1,000 damage for a little light tank. I can't really complain about that. And I do have one more replay, and I'll go ahead and load it up here. It's on Falls Creek. And here we are, once again, pretty similar matchup. The only difference is it looks like they're heavy. Oh no, both heavies are tier 4. So in all reality, they got a higher tier light tank. Or no, not even that, just different sort of setup. Yeah, everything's identical on this one too. I need to get my eyes checked apparently. Anyways, so I see where everyone's going, I take off. And that's the nice thing about, even though this tank's a little chunky, it still moves pretty quick, which I kind of like. Move that out of the way. And let's see here, once again, Camp Bush doesn't happen. Now I saw a medium tank over there, so I'm like, it's a Panzer 4D, so I'm like, okay, so they're probably gonna go rush that tank at least is rushing the cap. Now I'm gonna try and hit him. I see his rear is give him almost 200 damage there. He's almost done already, so that's one tank off the field. Somebody tracks him, and once again his turret goes flying. See you later, bud. So that's already one tank. Now I see the B1 over there. There's an AT2, which in all reality I could definitely take care of. I just feel like I could be useful elsewhere. So I see an M4, switch over to APCR, damage his ammo rack, take 200 and some odd HP off the guy. Now I'm hoping that the ammo rack stays damaged, but he may repair it, who knows. Now I see the ELC. I damage his engine, and I put in some damage on him. I do take 160 damage from him, but you can see he's trying to go even. I think his engine might be damaged, and he had to use that acceleration to get out of there. I see that Sherman again. Now I'm looking. Is he going to come out? Is he going to come out? I look over there, and the Sherman pops me. I didn't think he was going to pull all the way out. That was my bad. But I see a Panzer 4G. And same, the Panzer 4G is just a little bit stronger than its younger brother, the Panzer 4D. So me unloading on the front plate of that tank does absolutely nothing. So I re-clip into APCR, and I take out the Sherman because I thought I had a better opportunity to take the Sherman out than the Panzer 4. Now my teammate over there just got taken out, so now I'm worried because they could swing around on both ends and get me. Somebody starts firing on the Panzer 4G, which luckily for me is going to distract him. And now they're both going to turn and probably try to attack that tank, which gives me and the Black Prince here an opportunity. He's going to go that way. I'm going to go around the other way because I figured let's go ahead and pincer them both and see what happens. And here we go. I pop around. Panzer 4 doesn't see me. I bounce a shot, but I damage his engine. And unfortunately, the Panzer 4G takes out the Matilda. So now we're kind of, I was hoping maybe I would have taken him out. I probably should have switched over to APCR. I just didn't do it. And now he's setting up, and again I have another M4 Sherman come around and hope that he will help me out. And of course he takes him out, but luckily I pop his top and we take the win. So there you have it. That is the VK1602 Leopard. It's a pretty fun tank. I almost feel like it's a little broken in the right hands. That autocannon can absolutely decimate tanks if they're not paying attention to you, and that's, in my opinion, the best way to play this tank is kind of this annoying little fly that just kind of zooms around and unloads and then runs away. Seems to do well for me. I'm, doing 1,000 or so damage each game, and it's fun. Is it worth keeping? In my opinion, it's worth keeping just because it's hilarious. But that's going to be my showcase for today on the Leopard. I hopefully will see you guys around as I'm going to continue this as time goes on, as I collect more tanks and just kind of play this game some more. So for the time being, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy.